Okay, evening everyone. It's been a few weeks since I posted anything, so just show you what I've been working on. I'm trying to get this GP38-2 finished up. This is an Atlas model, and I'll show you some of the reasons why I like working with Atlas models. Number one reason I like it is they have separate, they have number boards that light up. And what I like to do with them is actually separate them. So they come as a single piece of plastic. And what I do is I cut out the center wedge and I light that up separately. And I have another light bulb for the number board. So light bulb number 1 is in here and light bulb number 2 is at the back. And what that does is it allows you to do independent lighting. So I can have the front light come on. And what I usually do is program the number boards to stay on forward and reverse. This one's not done. I'm still waiting for some Times New Roman white letters. These GTs always have something wonky with the number boards. The other thing I've done is instead of having the lights on the side, which my 6420 had, these ones have lights front and rear. So I've glued a tiny 0201 LED in here on the bottom side, and there's a hole drilled in the top. And so the wire goes, actually in real life it goes down, drips, and goes right through the roof of the cab. So what I'm going to do is I've got some 0.75 fiber optic cable that's side lit as well. It's not just end lit. And so I cut a little tiny piece of that off, and I use my my orange markers and just painted or colored orange and put a little disc of styrene there to represent the collar. Anyway, so that'll be all tidied up there. Yeah, so the cab's almost done. Still got to do one more bulb here and then slap the roof on, and that's good. I'm going to use a Locksound 5 decoder to power all this. Other thing I've done is I actually milled the chassis. So I've taken out quite a large chunk in here because I had an SD70, a Walters SD70 that was pretty much done. So I took the speaker out of that, and so this is going to fit in here. This speaker actually has some really good bass, and most likely it's because it has a very large sound chamber. So I've milled that out so it fits in there, and then the sound is going to come through there. So I'm going to leave that open, I'm not going to close it off. As you might remember, this was a GP38, so I had to do some change up to make it a 38-2. And I got rid of the dynamic brakes as well. What else have I done? So milling the chassis, took that chunk out, and then I've milled a little dish here and a dish here, and I've shaved off some of the sides on the rear and on the front. You can see I've milled it in there just with my Milwaukee Dremel tool thing, and that's so that when I do put the cover on, I don't ruin my wiring. So you can see I've got front and rear ditch lights. My wires are running right here, and then they go up the front of the inside of the nose, and then underneath the cab. So I want to leave space so I don't rub against those wires. That's magnet wire there. And if I rub against it, obviously I'm going to expose it to metal and it's going to short out the bulb. Ditch lights. So I did buy the ditch lights, the bezels, and then I've actually just used styrene to mount them. So just a rectangle of styrene. I think this was 0.4, 0.6, can't remember, 6 thou, 60 thou, or 40 thou. And then I actually do have an LED sitting in each one of those. And then when I'm finished putting this together, what I'll do is I'll use my fiber optic and make a lens to go over top of that. So those are all ready to go. And then on the rear, I use the boomer method of just using tubular styrene with a fake 2x4 on the side. So yeah, I think the front looks a bit better, but nobody looks at the back of the engine anyway. So, but those have a LED sitting in the middle of those too. So there's right now this thing has about 8 LEDs. I was gonna do truck lights, but I don't think I'm gonna bother doing that because I've got so many things going on with this thing as far as lighting goes. What else did I want to talk about? Yeah, other reason I love Atlas is they are just butter smooth. The motor, the drive on these things just blows Atlas out of the water, or blows Athearn out of the water. I've got some Athearns and they're just chunky in comparison. These things are just so silky smooth. Um, so yeah, I mean, if you get your hands on these things and you're willing to do some work, the details is pretty good too. They got see-through steps, which Athearn's just starting to do. These guys have been doing this for decades. What else? Oh yeah, so there's the second beacon on the back. Same mounting technique. There's an LED under here, and then you put on your, so you glue your LED on there with CA, and then you go over it with canopy glue. So just the clear drying stuff. It's a big blob of it, and then probably 2 or 3 coats of black paint to stop the light from going down and force it all to come up through the hole. And again, I'll just plop a little piece of fiber optic on top of that for a beacon. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm hoping to get it together within the week and have this guy running. So it'll be my second GT. And I've got actually 3 more Tsunami 2 Athearns coming in. Well, everything I've said about Athearn, I have not had a Tsunami 2 Athearn, so I'm going to try them. I got 3 really good deals on these things this week, so I couldn't say no to any of them. So I got an SD70i, an SD70, and a GP38-2 coming in, and they're all Canadian national. So yeah, you'll be seeing those on my layout soon. And yeah, I'll try and get them consistent and running. And yeah, that's my update for this week. Anyway, hopefully the next time you see this thing, it'll be making some sound and having a little bit of a light show. Anyway, thanks for all your views. Like and subscribe if you wish, and have a good evening.